And today we are moving to another amazing um, session, which is taking pride in graphic design and staying motivated. Now, I know we have some experts here in different fields. So you all agree with me that when you're starting out in, learning a craft, sometimes it's interesting, so sometimes when you start out as a graphic designer, it's usually challenging, Once you learn some things, yeah, you find it interesting, but as you progress, some things start setting in, maybe how to handle criticism, or when you start feeling intimidated, when you see some, professionals, I'm like, oh, when do I get to this point? When do I get to this? And a number of things like that. So it's going to be an amazing session. So today, without any further ado, let me introduce our amazing speaker. He's someone I've known for a while now. Is a very talented graphic designer, UI product designer as well. Is someone, I even sometimes reach out to, like, oh, can you help me review my work? And is someone that is really on point. I'm not going to say much about him. There's no other person but Bright Nejo is the creative director of More Studio. So please welcome on board my very own good friend, Bright Nejo.
Thank you, Nikes. It's a great privilege to be here. Good evening, everyone. Today, as rightly said by Nikes, we're going to be discussing a crucial topic about taking pride in graphic design. So, and stay motivated. It's simply just you being proud to be a graphic designer. That's all. So when you walk up to maybe a huge conference whereby we have professionals and people are introducing themselves and be like, okay, oh, I'm a software engineer. Some people will get up, I'm a pharmacist. Some people will get up, all sort of profession. And you'll be like, okay, your turn. What do you do? And just whisper under your breath, a graphic designer. We can't hear you speak up, a graphic designer. So, moments like that, you might be intimidated by others because you're a graphic designer and be like, ah, you rated yourself so low, and like graphic design is something that everybody thinks that these people are just joking, right? Which is wrong. So that's why we're having this session on how to make designers feel proud of what they are doing. Right. So and something I've observed over time, and I think is good to sort of enlighten upcoming graphic designers or graphic designers generally on the power they have, so you don't feel like you are low compared to some people. So I would like to I would have loved to share my story on how I become a designer. So I don't want to say I'm a graphic designer because I design a whole lot of things. So me saying I'm a graphic designer just means I'm just sticking to one side of the design. But I started out as a graphic designer, and it took me, I won't say a lot of time, but it's been a long way coming. I started design when I 2014, yeah. When that was when I first entered Futa, and it's been a good journey so far. So I'll just go straight into the topic. So taking pride in graphic design. So taking pride, how do you as a graphic designer take pride in your craft? So let's start this way. Before people can, before you can be proud of something, first thing you need to do is you need to know the worth of what you are doing. You need to know how important you are to the ecosystem where you are. So you need to know the value that is embedded in what you are doing. So that's the first thing. So I will just go over some list of things that makes graphic designers important. So number one is graphic designer can take you into different industries. So when you are a graphic designer, you could work in a bank, you could work in an oil company, you could work in a pharmaceutical company, you could work anywhere, you could work in the big four companies, say Amazon, say Google, say wherever. So everybody needs a graphic designer. Every company needs a graphic designer. Every damn company, every damn organization. So my profile for this event says I'm the creative director of Mo Studio. Yes, that's my own personal agency. But then I work in other different places. I work as a brand management officer at Coronation Merchant Bank. That's one of the leading investment banks we have in Nigeria. I work at Misa Technology and some other places. So there's no limit to where you can be or what you can be when you're a graphic designer. And you need to know these facts. So when people are asking you, what do you do? I'm a graphic designer. You are proud because you know you have a lot of power in your hands. So another thing is you have flexibility of where you can work from. Where I work, I said I work at Coronation Merchant Bank. I work just one day in the office. I'm currently in Lagos and it's crazy going to work every day in traffic and all of
Mhm.
that. So many people in my office will be like, guy, I mean, you see, now only you they enjoy this company because they have to go to work. They have to go to work every day. But me as a designer, I have the flexibility to come in just once and do every other thing right from my house. So you can be in Lagos and you are working for a company that is in US and you are paying you $1 and graphic design gave you that power.
Yeah.
So and a graphic design can even make you jackpot. You can jackpot with graphic design. I've seen a lot of guys that are not in this country anymore because they are designers. So you can even get a scholarship to study design abroad because you're a graphic designer. And it doesn't matter your background. Maybe you study microbiology or what you study. So that's the kind of flexibility graphic design gives you. Nobody care about what you study as an undergraduate. I studied remote sensing and GIS, and nobody even care about what I studied as long as you are good at what you do. So also it gives you this power to transition into any other tech career if you want. So a graphic designer today, you can easily transition into UI UX easily. And trust me, you will be better off than people that are not designers. I transitioned into UI UX and I my first design, people will be like, this can be your first design. No, this can be your because to me, I used to tell people graphic design is more complex than user interface design. Because when you are designing a user interface, all you need to do is draw shapes, tests, and all of that, boxes where people will type and all of that. But graphic design is way more complex than that. So when you say, okay, let me switch and you switch into career like UI UX, it's easy for you. All the principles of color, font, and all of that you already know. So just apply. So it's easy for you to go into web design. All you just need to do is learn HTML and CSS, and you're on your track. And technology has made it easy nowadays that you can even design a website from scratch with zero code. So there are platform like Webflow, where you can design a whole website without writing a single line of code. So all you just have to bring in into the game is having your own knowledge of design, what makes a design good, a fantastic design. That's all. You're on your way. So it gives you that flexibility to transition into other tech career. So and it also gives you this what's it called? It gives you this flexibility to become your own boss. You can manage your own time. You can say, okay, I want to become a freelancer. Okay, I want to run my own design agency, and you're on your way. You are good to go. So as a graphic designer, you have all of these things in your hand. And when you talk about being controlling your own time, I think that's one of the biggest freedom you can have. Somebody that is working full time in a company, probably a bank where I work, you can't travel anyhow because you have to report at work. But me today, I can carry my bag and say, okay, I'm going to Abuja, and that's where I'll be working for. I'm doing my work, but nobody in my office will know that I'm currently in Abuja. Or probably I decide to say, okay, I'm going to South Africa and I'm working from there. Nobody will knows I'm in South Africa. That's where I'm working from. So it gives you that flexibility, and it gives you time to be with your loved ones and stuff like that. So there are a whole lot of things that you can do as a graphic designer. And let me tell you one thing today. There's a point I need to mention is you influence the bottom line. What do I mean by you influence the bottom line? Now we have an organization. Those organization has audience. So you will become the interface, or you become the link between your company where you work for, or your client you work for, with their audience. So because these companies, these your clients, this organization communicates with this audience through visual designs, say social media posts, say email flyers, and all of that. So and nowadays, many organizations have begun to see the value of branding. You will see companies like GT Banks, UBA, and a whole lot of them investing so much in proper branding. They don't just put out design for design's sake. GT have a whole department for creatives, whereby you have animators, designers, you have people into a whole lot of creative stuff, because they know the value of branding, what branding does to their organizations. So many organizations to know this, that okay, I don't just want to put um just design out there for design sake. They need a professional too. So people know these values, and it's only a good graphic designer that can offer them these values. So they are looking for you. You people are hot cake. Even outside of Nigeria, you people are hot cake. If you go on platform like Indeed or Glassdoor and just subscribe to their daily mailing list of graphic design jobs, you will see them in hundreds, like people looking for graphic designers. So whenever you are in a space to say, oh, what do you do, you shouldn't be shy to say you are a graphic designer, because you are one of the most sought after tech skill. And one point to add is, you people, graphic designer, are also tech bros and tech sis. So in tech, we have the coding part, and you have the no code part. But most people don't know or don't really think about the no code part. So you should be you people should know that you are a tech bro and tech sis also. All right. So now that you know the your importance or your value, or the value you bring to the table, now another thing you should do to be proud of being a graphic designer is to build a strong personal brand. So you can't tell me you're a graphic designer or you're a creative person, and I can't see it in you, like I can't see the traces. So you need to build a strong personal branding for yourself. You need to have a logo, have a business card, tidy up your social media page, put out something that is professional. So when people see, okay, they will know that okay, this person is indeed a professional. So you need to build a culture of a strong personal brand. Have a nice profile picture. Let it be consistent on your social media pages. Write a short bio about yourself. I am a professional, what you do, what you do, what you do, and things like that. And in doing that, another point to note, you know, to to look more professional, is sometimes you might not want to use or describe yourself as just a graphic designer. Just saying a graphic designer looks cheap or sounds cheap, or it looks like okay, you are just getting started. So you will see people use words like I'm an art director, creative director, um, brand consultant, brand manager, something like that. You can give it you can go further than just saying a graphic designer, to just describe yourself more professional. Take it in notch up and say I'm a brand consultant, and that's what I do. I consult from brand on what this is what you should do. You need to apply this color consistently across your touch point, and all of that and all of that. But me and you, that we are in this field, we know that you're a graphic designer. But to other people, you look more professional, and that's it. So another thing, after knowing your values, creating a strong branding for yourself, is having a mentor. So when you have a mentor, there are things that you don't know before that they are going to put you through, and that will even boost your confidence. All right. And the next thing will be to attend conferences and read books. Attend conferences and read book. I can't emphasize more on attending conferences. You get to know new trend, what's happening. You get to see new styles of doing things that you never know existed. You get to meet new people that are doing wonderful things in the design industry, and you get to meet people that will probably introduce you to many job or opportunities. So most of my jobs that I've done that are not job that I even sought for myself. Is the jobs that people even, guy, I saw this flyer, can you do it? And do you know the funny part? The funny part is all these recommendations are coming from people I just met or people that I'm not really close to. But my close friends will be like, Baba, you be Agba, you be Agba. That's the only thing they keep saying. They will not say, oh yeah, oh. And most of these recommendations come for people that view your status, maybe they view consistently and know that this guy is a graphic designer. And then you just see one flyer somewhere, they screenshot and send to you, I know you're a graphic designer, see this thing, maybe you should apply. So my first two jobs and still my jobs generally are people that are not really close to me, but that are seeing what I'm doing and be like, since you say you can do this thing, I found this opportunity online. I don't know if you're interested, and they send it. Now apply and I got it. So the next point will be for you to
Oh.
build a strong network of designers. When you're in midst of when lions are together, they are more confident, they are stronger than being on your own. So for you to boost your confidence, for you to stay more confident, for you to actually be proud of what you are doing, your craft is when you are in the midst of like minds that does the same thing you are doing. So it keeps you going. Even when you feel like tired or you feel like giving up, you will see that this guy is still going. Me too, I can go. If this guy can go this far, me too, I can go. So you need to also put that
True.
in mind. So, and the last thing I would say is design is never enough. Design is never enough. You might have heard these quotes over and over. They say when talent does not work hard, hard work beat talent. Design is never enough. So if you want to climb the corporate ladder, when you want to become people like the communication expert for probably say GT or the communication lead for Apple or for Google, your design skill is never enough. Nobody will put you in a managerial position or top management position because you just have design skills. You need to build on that design skills. You need to build communication skills. You need to build presentation skill. You need to build time management skill. You need to build leadership skills. You need to build a whole lot of skills together with your design. And I see most designers, when they work in a corporate organization like where I work in a bank, what they just want to do is they just want to design and go. They don't want to do every other thing else. If they are doing brainstorming session on how to improve the company's product and this thing, the designer will be like, I'm just a designer because so, but it's more than that. You need to know other things. You need to know more about what's going on. You need to have developed a number of skills if you truly want to. There's nothing stopping a designer to be the director of an organization, but you can't attain that position by just your graphic design skills alone. So that would be the last thing I would say. Um, as a designer, you need to add a number of skills to your skills. Design skills is never enough. So skills like conflict resolution, a whole lot of skills that put people in top management position. That would be all from my end. Thank you very much.
Wow, 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 wow. That was super amazing. To be honest, that was short and loaded. I believe we so please we can unmute our microphones if your environment is calm, so that it's a conversation we're having here. So we can have contributions from other people. That's super amazing. I like what you started with about. So I like the what you started with. Like understanding the value of what you have. You see, personally from my experience, I remember there was a point I was going to, I'm still growing in my craft, so let me not sound like, oh, this guy is already balling, 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 but at least I'm not where I used to be like 1 year ago, 2 years ago, and all. There was a point I was almost quitting graphic design, for real, like, and for me, I even have other skills, like other things I can do outside graphics. I was almost quitting because there's this thing with, maybe I didn't just get to see the value of what I can do. Then I was just exposed to some extent, like, just doing some basic flyers. And even the flyer, if you tell someone 5,000, they'll still tell you all kind of ridiculous prices, and you'll be like, the money I'm even using to buy data safe. So I want to buy data while I'm working. I want to buy whether it's video or chivita and drink. The old thing, by the time you just look at it, it's not encouraging. But I remember, one of my friends, not just one, not two, having this connection with other designers. Okay, let me say a quick story. I remember there was a time I charged like 5,000 naira. That was way back for logo design. So then, some years ago, I remember following one of my big brother who is a full stack developer. He's not a designer. He's not a graphic designer. So he was working then at Framing Digitals. So I met this designer, and we just exchanged contact. He's a senior designer. Then I was talking to him about some things. Then I asked him how much does he charge for what he does. Then he told me, I think as at then, like 15,000. I was like, wow, okay, you charge 15,000 for this same thing that even the 5K I'm charging, it's like it takes a whole lot at times to even get that 5K. Then I looked at it that, okay, what is he doing that made him, that is making him charge that amount? Then I looked at, okay, I just asked him more questions, then I did more research on my own. That's why it's very key to research. You see, I believe that there is no industry where there's no money in that sense. When you research, when you have a mentor, when you have people that, okay, find out who are the people making it big in this industry. Of course, some are popular, some are not. But when you find, a couple of people like that, cashing out real good in this industry, it gives you that morale to keep going. That's why the title of this session is, taking pride and staying motivated. One of the things that, as you progress in this career, that keeps you motivated is when, you start getting paid for what you do, your own creativity. Of course, it might start out as passion. A number of things we do on a long run probably starts out as passion, just liking that thing, even if they don't pay you. But on the long run, as you grow, you will need to, commercialize it and understand the business of it. Because especially in this part of the world, there are needs, there are stuffs we need, there are bills to pay. You know the value of naira, especially if you are earning in naira. You get, so you would need to like upgrade. And one of the things that will help you in upgrading is, okay, seeing other designers that are, doing cool stuff, amazing stuff. It's one of the things that helped me then. When I saw someone that was charging 15K, I was like, okay, then I charged, then I found out within a short time to that time, I increased my price. I saw, okay, this is how this person presents his logo. Then I remember when I was charging 5K, I can do like 6 logo samples for a client on top of the 5K. Then I looked at him, I did some research. So at times, maybe max of 2 logo samples. That's what he does. And he still charged. He was charging well. And I'm like, okay. At the point now, if I'm doing it, I got to, I increased it to 10K. After a while, I hit the 15K. Now I charge much more than that for my basic branding package is even much more than the 15K as I then. And it doesn't mean that now if I'm doing a logo design for a client, it doesn't mean I'm doing like multiple samples, multiple. No. I do most times I do just one sample, but that one sample, of course, before you can get to that point of knowing that okay, this one sample I'm delivering to that client is the right one. There are a number of things you would have built over time. So you should have mentorship is one thing that keeps us going in this design industry, just like Mr. Bright pointed out, and which is very key for every young designer. Even me, I still have mentors. I'm still growing in my craft. Recently, the person, my mentor in product design, traveled to Germany. So now we do our meetings online every week. He went to Germany because of this skill. He started out as a graphic designer, deviated, went to web design, did a couple front-end development, UI UX. Now is a product designer. Recently he went to Germany, is in Berlin, and is earning a good amount of money. So now that's a motivation to me, myself. Okay, like if this person can do this from Nigeria, yes, same Nigeria, it gets a job. A number of times, of course, I have no issue with, getting a scholarship to travel out through your MSc. But for me, I kind of love it that, oh, if I want to travel out, let it be like a work visa, such that my earnings won't be limited because I'm a student. So for me, I kind of like, oh, I love the fact that, oh, this person traveled out through, the skills. You can be earning in thousands of dollars. You can, be in charge of stuff. And just like you said, graphic design is so amazing. Freedom. I used to tell people around me that my internet, my laptop, once I have those my gadgets in my bag, that's my office. Like I have like a mobile office. Now I'm not even where I stay. At a friend's place. I travel to another local government, to work with a friend. But I have no disturbance. I'm still delivering any work that comes to my table. I'm still delivering, and that's one super amazing thing. There's a company I work with, though owned by a Nigerian person, but in the UK. And from here, we've not seen in person. It was through recommendation, like just like in the case of our guest speaker, Bright Nigel. Same thing with me. Majority of the works I've done have been through recommendation. Through recommendation, relationship is a key thing in this our industry, and also doing good jobs. One other thing I do with my clients when I work with them. Okay, it's most times it starts out with me just doing their branding. Maybe they're a startup, or they want to do a rebranding, then I have to do the logo, I have to do a number of things. After I'm done with that, most times what they want is they want to retain me to keep working with me. So it goes beyond just having that skills. There are other things, customer relation. You have to be able to think beyond just okay, the visuals. Graphic design is a problem solving tool. The way you design, it's just like, you're presenting something to the audience, and there's a perception. That's what branding is. Branding is the feeling people have about your product or your service. So we are very powerful as graphic designers, and this is the mindset a number of people, like most of us, need to build with time, because it is what will take us from, okay, maybe just being a normal designer in maybe Nigeria, somewhere in Nigeria, maybe Akute or somewhere from Ibadan or Osun State, to having building that mindset of okay, this and this is more. And thank God for the internet. Is the skill, the knowing the tool or how to mix color and font, is it goes beyond that. How do you treat your clients? How do you handle businesses? Some I've experienced a whole lot when my clients, they want to work with me, and they're asking me other questions. Like I work as a strategist with my clients. Fine, it might start out as, oh, we need design, or I need to do a logo, I need to do this. But I find it that a lot of things I'm doing for them is strategizing. Oh, maybe they don't see it this way, I would like suggest. And this field is so beautiful because it's very exposing. You get to work with a lot of clients from different industries. So at times when I'm working with a new client, the experiences I've gathered from maybe working with these clients and this, what worked and what didn't work from that one, I bring it into this new clients, this new project. And it's like, oh, this guy, wow, we really want to work with you more. We want you to just be on the team. The UK people I work with, of course, like started out the okay, let me just give you a quick story. There might be something to pick from it. They've done their branding, they've launched, or maybe I think they were about, taking their stuff to another level when they found out that their logo was a stock image, like it was just something that was lifted from the internet and used as a logo for them. So it was really disappointing. And it's not like a country in Nigeria where a number of things just go. There, they can sue them. It can be costly to them as an organization. So they reached out to me, oh, we need this, we need that. The former designer, blah, 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 blah. Okay, I had to calm down, take the design brief and all. So, there was, of course, an organization like that will have some fears, like, oh, okay, what if this same person repeats what the former person did? But I did what they want. After that, oh, okay, so we need more designs. We need, after that, they had to retain me like, okay, we need you to be on this team. Now the owner of the company, she's not just discussing being their graphic designer. Now we are talking about me being the technical director. You get what I'm saying? I see you, Mr. Sam. Okay, so me being the technical director, you get what I'm saying? So the graphic design is a very wonderful skills because for me, freedom is a key thing. And I believe we all had an amazing session from what our guest speakers, shared with us. Is someone we've been friends for a very long time, and is someone I've seen his works, and it's super amazing. He inspires me. It's like he said, that network, we have to build that network of designers that keeps us going. For instance, now I'm currently at my friend's place because for a while I've been working alone. Not that I am not working effectively, but I just need to change my environment. I just need that motivation for a while to just, work with a fellow designer. It's because it's one of the things that keeps us going in this industry. So I believe we've been able to pick a number of things about how you can take pride, or firstly understanding the worth of what you have in your hands as a graphic designer, what you are capable of doing. Look beyond maybe people that do design in the business center, all these people that do 1,000 naira. No, no, no. It's a very beautiful field and it will always be in demand. People keep designing. They say there's a saying that is it a picture or a map is worth 1,000 words. That's how graphic design is. When you design a flyer, a poster, whatsoever it is, and organizations need it. A lot of organizations, they need it. And lastly is that I'll just add to what our guest speaker has said is build a strong work culture. Believe me, this what I just said, it's I had to build a strong work culture. When I say work culture, let me give you an instance. Now, as a graphic designer, when you become good with what you do, or when you are still, when you start getting gigs, sometimes it's hard to manage the works you have at hand. Now, and at times, some of us fall into this era of professionalism. Sorry, not professionalism. I mean perfectionism in that sense, like, oh, it's not good enough. I still have to do this. I still have to do this. Meanwhile, sometimes it's not really about necessarily about how perfect the work you are doing is. But then there are some other things attached to retaining a client as a graphic designer. For instance, if I tell you a client now that I'll deliver your work on Friday, and Friday comes, I didn't deliver, Saturday comes, I didn't deliver, Sunday comes, that will be affecting my reputation with our clients, even though I am a skilled graphic designer. So we need to understand that this thing goes beyond just knowing the tools and all. I learned this the hard way in the last organization where I worked. There was always this issue of me not, you know, prioritizing things well. For instance, let's say I have like 10 tasks. Sometimes I'm just overwhelmed and I'm maybe picking the one that should come last and putting it first. If you have 10 jobs, let's say, okay, let me just say you have 3 works now. The maybe the first work is to be used tomorrow. You have another one to be used on Tuesday. You have another one to be used next week, Saturday. It won't be a smart thing to be doing the one of Saturday first. It is better to just do it in accordance, just do it accordingly. I mean, for the time of, according to the time of usage. So, as a graphic designer, building a strong work culture, I received query like up to 5 times for having to, because although it wasn't totally my fault, because there were times that I already have a task on my table, a new one comes in that is more pressing, and then I don't know how to just balance it, and it just gets affected that, oh, the deadline is here and I haven't delivered. So build a strong work culture. And there's this practice too. They say you under promise and over deliver, which is also good. I know what the part I'm saying now is a bit deviated from our the title of our message, but it is key, because this is one of the things that would keep you motivated when you develop a strong work culture. And there are times that you can be skilled and clients are still complaining, oh, you always deliver late, you always do this, and you don't want such. You should be a person of excellence. Okay, if I'm telling a client that I'll deliver this period, on or before that time, you should deliver. So you can practice, maybe, let's say, if you know that this work will take you 2 days, you can tell your client that you will deliver in 3 or 4 days, depending, so such that you can amaze, you can amaze the client. If the client in his or her mind will have like, oh, this guy will deliver in 4 days, and then you are delivering in 2 days, the client will be wild, like, oh wow, this guy is, I like the way he works. The person will be amazed with, oh, I like the way this guy works, and they will want to always come for more because they know that you always deliver on time. So building a strong work culture is really key. Learn to prioritize your tasks, because as a graphic designer, you would have a lot of tasks, and the nature of our work is mental work. Sometimes it is training, sometimes you have to take a walk to get inspiration. Sometimes you might need to call your babe, or if you are married, call your wife that, babe, I need some inspiration. Sometimes you need to pray and different stuff like that. So it's important we keep a strong work culture as graphic designers. So that is that. And now we would quickly, for the next 5 minutes, we'll give room to anyone who have contribution to what has been discussed so far. Then after that, then we now move on to question and answer concerning what we've discussed today. And then lastly, please, I'll be dropping a link right now on the chat, on our chat, for, please just fill your name, fill your email, and then please give us a feedback on this session. What you think we can improve on, what you think we should do better, how you think we can get more audience. I believe every one of us so far, we are not done yet, I'm just chipping this in, has gained quite a number of things from what our guest speaker has said, and also from the little I've contributed. So please let us just give a feedback how we can have more audience, because this is running for 7 weeks. This is the second week, and we are still having it for 5 weeks more. We'll still be having another session where we will have our guest speaker for today, come to speak to us again. So very quickly, does anyone have a contribution just to what we've said, what you feel we should add, or what you think we should also learn? Anyone? Okay, so the form is in, you can find the form now, the Google form on the chat. Please kindly fill it with your, just, it's a very short one, your name, your email, and a feedback from the session today, what you feel we should improve. Just a feedback generally, not just on what to improve, but a feedback, what you gained, how is the whole session and everything. So any contribution from our audience? Nobody's saying anything. Any contribution? Okay, so if there's no contribution for now, let's move to question and answer. From all that has been said, please let us ask questions, and so that we can have answers from our guest speaker and also from myself. Any question? No, you should have questions.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, Ma.
Yes. Okay, I think my question is going to be, I'm not a graphic designer, but I just like design. So I'm just here to just speak one or two things. So if you are going, okay, if you are a graphic designer, the tool you use doesn't matter. I design on Canva. That's why I said I can't use Photoshop. I know how to use it, but not very well. So
Okay.
I just want to know that, does the tool you use as a graphic designer, does it really, really matter?
Okay, that's a beautiful question. I don't know if our guest speaker wants to give an answer to that before I contribute mine.
All right. That's a beautiful question. So all right. So the tool you use doesn't matter. So number one thing I tell people when you're a graphic designer is design is from the mind, right? The tool you use is just like what brings your design to life. If you like, you know how to use CorelDRAW plus Photoshop plus Illustrator plus everything. If you don't have a very strong creative mind, you will still produce design that nobody likes. I hope that is clear. So you must first have a good creative mind. Then the tool will now be something that helps others see what you have in your mind. So it's just like a tool that visualizes what you have in your mind. Before I design anything, I would have like an internal image of how I want that thing to look. In my mind, I will have done some work and be like, okay, I want this creative direction, this direction. And it's evident when you give two people the same brief, the same content to design, you will see that the same tool, they are using the same tool, but the design they produce two different designs that are not even similar at all. And we are, so I was saying you can give two people the same brief, the same content, they are using the same tool, and yet they will produce two different designs that are not similar. So the number one key thing for designers is to have a creative mind. Whatever you are doing is from your mind, is what you, if you don't have, if you don't have it in your mind, you can't do it. You will see other people's work that it's so fantastic. You'll be like, I can do this thing. And you, when you get on your own tool, you'll be like, I can't do this thing. You will try and try and try. You will not do it. You won't, because you've not developed your mind and you've not developed your creative skills. That's why you can't do it. So it's just like going to the gym. When you get to the gym, you see some guys at the gym that can carry 50 kg, 10 reps. But you be like, I can do this thing, but you just carry one, be like, I can't do it again. But with time, you will do it. So back to the tools you use. That's what I'm saying. The number one tool you need to master how to use it, develop your creative mind. That's number one. So where your tool comes in is every tool has its own advantage and disadvantage. So when you are using Canva, you are limited to the template that is already on Canva. There are some things that you can't create on your own. There are some things that you can't create from scratch. So it limits your creative ability. All right. But when you use tools like Photoshop, like Illustrator, like CorelDRAW, and the likes, you can create things by yourself. You can even create templates for others to use. All right. So there's more room for creativities when you are using tool like Photoshop. When you are using Photoshop, you can do a photo manipulation whereby you are driving a spaceship inside inside a sea. You can be riding on an elephant inside a desert. That's what Photoshop can do to you. So from what I've said is, number one, you have to develop your creative mind. I've seen fantastic design that people do on Canva that you won't know it's done on Canva. I've seen a lot of people like that. And I'm not against Canva. It makes work easier for designers that have friends that will be disturbing. Come and help me to do this thing. Come and you are designers, when you are becoming good, you have a lot of requests on your hand, and you get a lot of bigger offer that you don't want to do all those smaller ones. So when all these entrepreneurs and people that have smaller business learn how to use Canva, it removes the burden of all those small entrepreneurs coming to come and meet you, come and me do design and start begging you up and down, and you know that you don't have time to do their work. So it just removed that burden and they could do something on their own. But again, number one thing for a graphic designer is develop your creative mind. That's where the design comes from. That's where all the inspiration comes from and all of that. But as for the two, Photoshop might give you a greater edge on what you can produce as a designer as to when you are using a Canva that is just templates that you can just use, just combination of templates. So number one thing is your mind. Number two, the two play a tangible role as to what you can do and what you cannot do. But that doesn't mean you still can produce fantastic designs with Canva.
Okay. Wow. That's super amazing. I believe that actually answers the question. What I'll just contribute to that is just know this, that your tools is just the means to an end to what you have in your mind. Remember that the idea of doing a design is to solve a problem. It's not just for the sake of design. Your design is serving a function. So the tool is what is a means to an end. You are traveling from a place to another. You take a public transport. So the goal is to get to that destination, but that public transport is a means to an end. So, and then just know, see graphic design, like I said in the last episode we had, your tool is like 30% of what you do. This remaining like 70% is your creative ability. And there are several ways to develop that. We spoke about that to a good extent, in the last episode. We'll make the video available, after the whole, before the end of the whole, duration for the masterclass training. So the tool does not really matter. It's just that some are more limiting to doing some certain things. But in your case, like you said you are not a graphic designer. You just like it. You're let's call you a graphic enthusiast. There are people that they just like. There are things I like as well too, but it's not that I'm interested in doing it. For instance, I like, okay, what can I remember? Let's say I like football so well. I know about football, this. It doesn't mean I want to become a footballer. Stuff like that. So, and then like Bright said, he said, one good thing with tools like Canva is that it helps relieve the pressure. In fact, I give out materials at times to a number of people when they come, they want this designer, and maybe there's no issue with sharing materials with them. Just go and learn this thing, learn this. You can help yourself do some basic design. But then, even if you are using Canva or whatsoever, please learn design principles. If you are learning whether you are going to be using a professional tool or not, whether it's Canva, whatsoever, whether you are using a professional tool like industry standard tool like the Creative Suite, like Illustrator, Photoshop, CorelDRAW, whatsoever, or you are using Canva, please ensure you learn design principles and design elements. Because it's not, don't say because, oh, I'm using a tool that is not industry standard, it doesn't give you that permission to do any kind of designs. At times I see a lot of designs. People will just say, I'm a call graphic design. In their mind, they may say, CorelDRAW. In their mind, what they're already saying is, call the whole entire graphic design. So by the time they learn one or two tools, they're already feeling funky, like, I mean designer. and then you see what they do. It's like, man, like, what is this? You get what I'm saying? So please, even though you want to use it for your personal self, whatever you're using it for, ensure you learn the basics. It is good to start right. It is good to start well by learning the basics of graphic design, so that, because that's one thing that will help you know a good design from a bad design, when you know the principles guiding all these things. Like I said, like I always say, like you want to cook egusi, excuse me, there's a level of salt you add to it. There's a level of Maggi. If you add too much Maggi, okay, so Omobolaji, so it's important that even if you are just learning it for your personal self or whatsoever, it's important to learn it well, at least maybe not professionally, like doing some image manipulation and all, but learn the basics well, so that at least your output would be, visually appealing to the eye. It won't just be like, salad and egusi with rice and a fall all mixed up together. Do you get the point?
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you to the guest
speaker. Yeah. Okay, so please, any other question? Let's ask questions. Let's us ask questions. Okay, Omobolaji, is that all the question you have?
Yes, I guess.
Okay. And how about praise?
I don't have any question.
Okay. How about animation, Oluwabukola?
No question.
Okay, so I hope you all enjoyed today's session. Did we? And please let us not forget to please fill out the form. Let me post that. Okay, please, let's do well to fill out the form. We would really appreciate that. Okay. So a very big thank you to our guest speaker, Bright Nejo. Thank you so very much. That was, we really appreciate you from sharing, your wealth of knowledge. And we look forward to, seeing you again on our platform. And thank you to everyone who have joined. Please let us help, share, having an amazing session like this, having an amazing speaker in our midst as well, requires more audience to hear stuff like this, so that there are a lot of people out there learning things in the wrong way, but we are doing this for free. So please also help us, publicize, help us bring in more people, help us see how, let's do this together. Let's grow this together. We are all in this together. And we really appreciate your support in every way possible. Thank you so very much. Don't forget to fill the form. Thank you, Bright Nejo. Are you there, sir?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. Thank you so very much for today. And I think that will just be all for today's session. Next week, we'll be having an amazing session, 5 p.m. on Friday. We'll make the video available, on our YouTube. So on our YouTube channel, just follow our channel, though you won't find any content on it. But you can follow us on Instagram. You'll find a couple of amazing contents there, and just follow us on our platforms. We'll keep you updated. Next week is the next session by 5 p.m. on Friday, and it will be another amazing time. Thank you very much, everyone. Let's have a wonderful night rest. Bye.